How much do I need to retire? This is a constant question which bothers all of us. In this video, we are going to sit together and come up with a plan. We're going to work out together. No. I'm not giving you a number. We will work this out together. We are going to use Google Sheets for the same. And remember, retirement planning is based on a lot of assumptions. And for the retirement plan to work, we have to reduce our risks. And for that, we have to use very conservative estimates for these assumptions. Let's dive in. The first step is to enter your details. At what age do you want to retire? How many years do you expect to live after retirement? A safe assumption is to plan until at least age 85, given that life expectancies steadily increase. Now comes the most crucial assumption, your monthly expenses. Take your time with this number. I even recommend doing a budgeting exercise to get it right. Assume that by retirement, all your major life goals are taken care of. Kids are in college, financially independent, and no one else relies on you. If they do, be sure to factor that in. For my family, I've set a monthly expense of approximately 50K. And this is what we need to maintain our lifestyle in a normal month. Another key assumption is inflation. Fluctuates over time with economic cycles. For this calculation, I'm assuming a 7% inflation rate until your retirement and 6% during retirement. The higher the rate you assume, the more conservative and robust your plan will be. Now, let's take a look at how this Excel works. So, this is how the planning sheet looks like. This is the year of planning. You're doing it in 2025, and then you wanted to retire in when the age was 48, so 18 years from now, so 2043, and then till end of life, right? And next is the yearly expense. So how do we arrive at the yearly expense? So we made an assumption here. It is 6 lakhs per year in 2025. And then we have an inflation assumption of 7%. So based on that, in 2043, your yearly expense will be 6 lakhs inflated at 7% per year for 18 years. So that comes to 20 lakhs. And returns expected after tax. So you will continue to invest during retirement, and your money will continue to stay invested during retirement, and they will fetch a return after tax. And this is the assumption which we are making here in column C. So as you can see, throughout our life, the returns are expected to go down naturally, right? I mean, we will be taking lower risk as we move towards our end of life. And what is SOI and EOY? That is value of the portfolio at the start of the year and value of the portfolio at the end of the year, right? So, and then here is the corpus required. So we'll talk about first 3 years and bequeath later. The corpus required is a calculated field. We will come to how we are calculating it in a bit. So this is the number which is there. So what happens is we take the corpus and take the yearly expense out. So we have 5.8 crores here. We take 20 lakhs out for yearly expense at the start of the year. We are left with 5.6 crores at the start of the year, which is invested to get a return of 10% throughout the year. And the value of it at the end of the year is 6.1 crore. So get it? We start with a corpus, we take out the yearly expense, we invest the rest to arrive at the end of the year value. And the cycle continues. The end of the year value, the next year expense is so much. So the end of the year value becomes the start of the year value minus the yearly expense. And then this grows at 10% to arrive at value of end of year. And this continues till 2079, which is our end of life. So now, what do we want to do? At the end of our life, we want our portfolio to be fully utilized, right? We'll come to bequeath later, where we want to leave some legacy for our kids. We'll come to that part the next in a bit. But ideally, if you don't want to leave anything for anybody, ideally your portfolio should be zero. So, and that is how we are going to do this calculation. So what we are going to do is we are going to use an Excel extension called Goal Seek which is a fantastic tool, by the way, to calculate what is the corpus which is required for my retirement, right? For our retirement. So I'm opening goal seek here. So how you work is you want this value, the 2079 end of the year portfolio value, to be zero, right? You don't want to leave anything for anybody. So you want the value to be zero. By changing what? You want to identify what is the corpus required. So corpus is the variable here. So I am going to change the variable and figure out what is the value which will make, what is the value of the corpus which will make my end of year value to be end of year of 2079 to be zero. So yes, the goal seek is complete. You can see here, and you can see on the right hand side, solution is found. Let's look at the number. Okay, so the number is for these assumptions. When your age is 30 and you want to retire at the age of 48, you expect to live till 85 years of age. Your monthly expense is 50,000 right now, and you're assuming an inflation of 7%. It comes back and tells that your corpus required is so much, which is 5.7 crores, if you are able to generate a return of so much, right? These are the returns which we have assumed. Now let us look at the same thing graphically to get an idea of how the portfolio moves. So our portfolio was 5.7 crores at the start of the retirement, and then it goes up, goes to crosses 10 crores. And then you can see that in the last few years, last 10 years, it falls rapidly to zero. This is how the portfolio is structured. So remember, and this is why we were saying that you need to have proper estimates so that this drastic fall is not too steep, and this also at the same time this also rises at required levels. So the assumptions are important. Your asset allocation is important. We will talk about the asset allocation in a separate video, right? So this gives you a graphical idea. Now let us look at the concept of bequest. What is bequest? You want to leave alone, let us say 1 crore for your kids, right? So we assume the portfolio value to be zero at the end of your end of life, right? So now the assumption is that it will be 1 crore if you want to leave alone and leave back 1 crore for the kids. So now how do we do that? Again, goal seek comes to our help. Open goal seek. We go back to this cell. We select, this is the cell which we want to be, and its value should be 1 crore, which is 1 followed by 7 zeros. By changing what cell? By changing my corpus cell, right? Right. Change the corpus cell. And I then let goal seek do its value. So I just want to start off showing how goal seek. See, you can see that it changes the values, iterates multiple times, and then finds the value. So you can see that goal seek has done its magic. Let us look at it. Solution found. See, folks. So now it is given out a value as 5.8 crores. So what is it telling us? To leave a bequest of 1 crore for the kids, um, we need to add 10 lakhs more in 2043. Makes sense, right? I mean, over a period of 37 years, that 10 lakhs which we are having in the portfolio has become 1 crore, right? Assuming it is returning these expected values, right? So this is how easy it is to calculate your retirement corpus. Obviously, make sure you understand we are doing a lot of assumptions here. So have conservative estimates. So play around, folks, understand, play around with these numbers, and then come up with your value. So now you break the retirement corpus and you are at the cusp of retirement. Where do I invest? Watch this particular video to know more details about that. That video talks about the challenges being faced and also gives you some practical tips on where to invest. So let's be wise, money wise.